Well, Jeffrey, this is the day we're having your party, and I just want you to have memories of the place you used to live at. See, when you get older and you show your children, this is where you used to live. And we're back to the Lemons family, and the family's back now, and I got to go to work, so we're going to videotape for...
Hi, Grandma, Grandpa, Barbara.
I forgot whose tape this is. Oh, well, you'll have that.
Anybody that is watching.
Yes, that's what you said.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
If you didn't do anything,
Yeah.
anyhow.
If you didn't do anything, then
Why not?
There's always belated graduation present.
Oh, you're really pushing it, pal. I know Barbara's your favorite aunt, right? Go away. Hi.
Hi.
So this is the cake.
See the decorations Dana put up?
This is the first thing I've seen.
That
in
is
about-
The little
neat.
graduation
Yeah.
guy fell into the rose, but
This is the first thing I've seen in several weeks
Get the diploma in.
I zoomed in on that
that didn't
earlier.
have Jeffrey instead of Jeffrey. It's got Jeff. I don't know what the bulletin said. I don't know if they spelled it wrong in there or not. I forgot.
What are we doing?
Whatever happened. It's not in focus.
is there any of me and Jason? I see.
Yeah, in the hospital. Yeah. There should be some little ones again, Jason. Don't you love those potty?
Oh boy, wait till Jessica Rose comes.
Why?
The giraffes.
Yeah, one of you and the kids roller skating, Teresa, but I don't know.
Comes out of the neighbor's house.
Good. They won't be able to get out.
Oh, Jeff, I've got to give you a hug.
They'll probably have to.
You're such a good kid.
Didn't you
Yeah, what'd you do to your room?
Angel and Doug and the storm?
Can you clean up your room?
Yeah.
Look at it.
Do we need to chop it
We
up?
blew it, Eric. You could have had it right on.
See, actually, technically, another one of the that's supposed to go to this half now.
Get out of here.
No, Angie said 3 of them to 1.
How does it come? There's no way.
I know, so as you get some out, you got a bunch still melted.
Yeah, I know. I was out. Get your finger there.
It's a green thing that is in the raspberry. And I thought that too, but
Okay, well, lay the punch table over here.
You women crack me up.
Shut up, Jason.
Only if they could have stayed here overnight, because we got to
Get all this, Mandy?
with the dog park because they came home. Hurry, come on, walkie. Hurry, hurry. It's a real one.
It's better, but it's still not finished.
It looks good to me.
I got a shed out there I gotta tear down.
You ought to see what we live in.
Where did he
It works.
How are you, young lady?
How was your rally? How was your rally? Your rally? Was it good?
Very good.
Come
on in, Eddie.
Pablo.
Hi, Carla Susie Q. Pablo Picasso?
Hi there.
Hey, man.
Do you live with them now? Yeah. Okay.
Pablo Picasso? He's a little Italian fella, ain't he? Oh.
They rushed him to the emergency hospital this morning.
What for?
He got something sort of almost blew up at work and he was in front of it.
Who?
And he got badly burned.
Oh, I didn't hear this.
He got badly burned.
Pablo. Is he related to Nino Pablo?
No. His name is Chavez.
It's nice, ain't it? Artel's nice?
Got the 2 doors, the extra door.
What's this? What's this?
Yours rolled in it?
Vacation
You want me to?
You just wanted to make me feel.
You come back here.
Is that
And you're-
Savannah. There's Savannah.
She came
Her-
from Florida. She
she's-
lives there and she's going back to.
She's named after a city in Georgia,
Oh,
Macon.
Well, she looks just like Barbara.
She's named after a city in Florida, Macon, Georgia. I mean, city in Georgia, Macon. No, maybe it's not. Maybe it's Atlanta, Savannah. That's it, Savannah.
making sure, making sure.
Those are black tips and hammerheads.
There's a hammerhead,
Uh-oh.
look at that. Sitting on the pier.
Can I ask you a favor? There's
Well, now she
this,
stands traveling
Jeffrey's,
here.
one of
What is
Jeffrey's
this?
grandmas is coming in.
She wanted something
And she will,
called-
she'll
Is
sit
that
anywhere, but
hammerhead?
probably
He
right
said this
here.
is all hammerheads and black tips. All seen Carla. Good, sexy poser, Carla.
Oh, yeah.
Got anything to help you out there? Or? Okay, just walk her head. Just stay out of your way.
Grandma? Yeah, okay.
Here's just the beginning of all his little lovely party. Already got a yard full, and house full. It's just started.
I'm mostly fresh in the summer, but I go to CDC, so.
Jason?
Jeffrey, we need to go socialize and get out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, this is your day. Make the most of it. Milk it.
Pretty little table, huh? Pretty little servers.
That's what I said. You have got to. I had to do it at my open house. You have to do yours. Sorry, Mom, I'm messing up your things. We need more room.
That's okay. As soon as you get it ready, you can serve.
Well, people can come in here. We're serving it, dishing it out.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, your birthday and a pie thing.
Are you having fun?
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to bring you one. Did they bring one home?
I love watching people do
Go
that.
get it for me real quick.
This place we stay in Cape San Blas. You get 5 nights,
Why?
6 days,
Supposed to bring us a pie thing. And that's
it's on the golf.
this your
Walk out your door, in the sand.
And we can let her do that. If we go to Florida, we have to do it.
Okay.
Her mom's house.
This works. Okay, what kind is this?
raspberry.
We were laughing real
They
hard
shut the
outside,
machine
and
off.
he goes, exactly.
More later.
And we were laughing at him, and he thought we were laughing.
Oh, and they're annoying.
The guys in those Tibetan mountains, they drink 40 cups of tea a day, and every cup of tea they throw a piece of ice of rock salt in their tea because it's so dry. They throw rock salt in their tea and they cook with butter and lard, and their average lifespan is 115 to 130. So, and they tell us, and then it's,
That's Charles Evans.
I thought you said it didn't work.
There was.
oh, it don't work. Just act natural. It don't work. Trust me. Trust this. What was it you saying about someone in the family? Let's start talking about different people in the family. Then I got it. Susie, I've got this tape. For an undisclosed amount of so many dollars, I will...
We'll say nothing about the
Oh,
family.
we got that running.
That's right.
Hey, you'd be surprised how many times you record something.
I
Play
sit
it
here.
back later on, look through it.
I know.
You gotta erase that.
I want ZTV. I'm trying to get the cable company to put ZTV on, which is 24 hours of videos and concerts and things like that.
We got that on our list.
ZTV, it's Christian videos and
No, we gotta learn something.
you gotta. Hey, thanks for coming.
Bye, guys.
Oh.
And so goes the Blankenships.
Sure, sideways, like camouflage.
Far from it, far from it. I have so much more to go. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I eat what I want to eat. I just was walking. That's how I walk.
She was walking about 6 miles a day. She'd get up at 5 in the morning, spend an hour on the treadmill.
10th, and so I haven't been able to do much of anything. I still cannot go on the treadmill, and I still can't. I haven't had time.
Bring blossom down to those white blossoms.
Larry said mine was gonna cut mine back one. I didn't pay attention, and when I went out there, it was like this.
I thought I will go and I'll have one cut and even so I have to even up, and I know me, I will just cut it to bits.
That's right, they would go back. 2 years.
Uncle Bob. I got two Uncle Bobs here today. Kate's Uncle Bob and my Uncle Bob.
Alright,
Kate.
over here,
Jeff
what?
is now a sophisticated graduate.
That's what the girl next to him had on her hat at the graduation. She had written on there, "I is a graduate."
I is.
I
I
is.
is.
And they got it before they ever started. They said, "Oh man, they had a bunch." School's dropped, but I still think they should have.
How you doing, Jeffrey? Pretty good.
You're asleep and I was catching you because the paper kept falling down. Just relax.
Come here, Kent. Wave at the camera.
Hi there.
Talking, it broke, so.
Red lights on.
Go find some kids. Yeah, we were worried about that when we get our
I
mess.
felt it. Who did? He did. Been doing it for years. Cut it out. I'm sure they wouldn't want punch all over
Oh,
her
how I
floor
missed that
from
big
you.
behind. I missed it.
I would never do that.
I got Becky, I'm gonna cut Mama head. I get Becky, I'm gonna get
Knock him out, Becky.
You hit me one time, buddy.
I know, that's what I said. Boy, I'll do a big try.
Do they still have all?
Master got up, recognized all the graduates, and, spoke about each one of them, and grabbed Jeff, and up and said, I was in Indianapolis. What was it? Jeff, what was it? It was about 2 years ago. I was in Indianapolis, and I got this phone call. Get over to the Riley Hospital. Jeff Lemons died, and they lifelined him to Riley. His voice is it took him 12 different times. They said they put the paddles on him and keep it on. Keep it on. So it's kind of special.
They were expecting to get him this far.
Nope. They told us when he was born to join. Kate was still here. And I hadn't made the trip to him. That was how I said, he's a pretty sick little kid. As far as we can tell, he's got a fourth of his heart's missing. One whole section. Enjoy him while you can, because we just don't expect him.
Here we go, preacher boy.
Excuses, excuses.
Okay, like it.
There they go again. There's our little helpers. They're doing such a good job.
I think her line's a little crooked.
You think? Should we get somebody else to do it?
You are kicked out of the house. Mr. Hopper.
What do you want, girl? Excuse me.
I need a plate holder. That helps me out.
That's in the Old Testament.
Hello.
Yeah.
I don't do too well walking with one eye closed.
Hey, is this alcohol? Are you Ray?
Not.
Oh, okay.
No, but if only you knew what was it. Look, he's laughing when
I'm being honest. She's being very honest. If you only knew.
Are you preaching tonight?
Somebody give me some punch, please.
Let's just say you might want to take some Pepto later on. How you doing?
Not in yours. I just got one.
Good. You got little Dana Lynn?
I work
Not little anymore.
in the evenings when we call.
Yeah. She went out again?
Oh, man, for a long time ago. Let's get the chair the best part.
Pray for her. I just waiting that it was early. Because I know how you're going to feel. But no, the Lord will change that. You don't have to feel that way.
I just pray I'll make it to the next 6 days.
Well, guys. Yeah, look at all the little miracles.
I talked to Rusty yesterday.
31 altogether.
Oh, yeah, it's working pretty good right there.
That's about how much I lost. I've been fluctuating within a 5-pound range, not gaining it back, so that's very good.
Oh, okay, I'm not sure I can get those anymore. I won't lie to them, Sam. I can't get them anymore because I could if I want to. They all started adding back in some things because people are
That's a
complaining.
lot of weight still to lose.
People go to the store and want a fat big pig. They're not going to buy a zebra cake instead. You know, I mean, they're just not going to do it. They're going to forget it and go buy something else.
Oh, yeah. I can't imagine what.
That makes me so mad because if you just leave me
Did
alone,
I look in the mirror now?
I get myself up.
Huh?
The guy hasn't done anything.
But the walking made it so easy because I mean I can eat still what I wanted.
Give it a toss.
Like today, eating cake and junk, I don't have to worry about it. You know, not trying to go calories.
He hasn't done anything for 15 years in the business.
I got a dog.
And so he's been pretty much out of it. Comes back every once in a while.
This rain never lets up. I went out walking early in the morning about 3 weeks ago. I thought, well, I'll get back into walking a little bit in the morning before I go to work. And walking. I didn't want to do as much before my surgery because I was still doing everything. It just takes so much
When
time.
he desperately needed
So
it.
anyway,
He hired a guy to be the extra driver to
all this type of stuff.
on
My chest
vacation.
is like, all the way up there, it's like, oh man.
I work a week and quit. I did it for $200 a week. I didn't blame him. I was doing it so
Oh, they were teasing about that, but you know, that's
His
how
son-in-law was the general manager of Frederick
I don't walk
Street.
through real fast.
The guy made $10,000 more than he makes now as a mailman. So he had that salary plus the rest supervisor's job.
You wanna watch
So
this?
he had those two salaries.
Security, open your present.
All right.
I just ran
Now.
from the party here.
Oh, open it again.
Open my
You fix the little kids over there doing that.
Oh, hey, yeah.
Okay, it says it's recording, but I don't see anything. Oh.
That's from the car.
You can tell what you're seeing there?
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
You want to zoom up a little closer?
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
We drove through this rain on the way in.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of rain.
I saw it on the screen. I watched the Weather Channel, and this big old blob, and it was coming from the southeast going this way. And I thought that, because usually it comes from the other way.
Sort of.
And it was coming backwards coming up, and then it started breaking up as it got close to Howard County. Oh, maybe I missed it. There was another wave behind it coming out. I thought that one ain't going to break up. And this is the one that's here.
Pretty boy.
Thanks, Tara.
You're welcome. You like it?
Yeah.
If you don't have the receipt, you can totally return it.
I don't return anything, so, but...
Hi, Zachar.
Hello.
Well,
It's kind of wet out there.
Exactly.
Well,
Oh, hi, there you are.
Amber, you're staying in You guys go swimming? Hi.
so wet, but...
Oh, yeah.
yeah, right.
Just like Jeff.
We got down there, got our suits on, and then it started raining real hard.
Go figure.
I went yesterday, and I went the day before until 8:30 at night.
Who's that from?
I'm still waiting to invite your Uncle Cliff to come in.
You can come down. It's open invitation. You like it?
No, yeah, I understand.
I'm gonna get some fun.
Cliff, I don't want you down there.
Oh, he's open invitation.
Well, I usually don't care.
No, I'm just going to.
your mom got? Look what your mom
Oh, is this what it's opening now?
That's what he
Oh,
has.
I know what it is. I saw it.
Box.
A box.
No.
I have it in part.
Nice.
Somebody get a nice one.
He's strong.
He's been.
I don't have your card here yet, Jeff.
I'm just gonna stand right here.
Your mom, dad went to the hospital.
I'll carry it.
That's what I was asking more than telling.
It is. I haven't been up there yet.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, I may take a little.
Bubble wrap.
Yeah, just for you. That's what ordered.
They say, I mean, she's got some times and running to run out.
By the time you get in
She
there,
doesn't recognize, she's out.
hey, you always remember where he brought you from and where you
Yeah, so she gets better and she's enjoying
Who's
it.
this from, Grandma?
Hey, Grandma.
Snap them.
She had a list of things. I had to leave church early. I don't know what they church. Then over to Boston, pick up some good old stuff. They got Amish style, good stuff, Camp Salad stuff. So I get over there, they're closed down on Sundays. I don't know how many guys run to get a cake at Marsh. I'm heading down Washington Street and I've got the door open because it's so hot in the truck. You always have the door open.
Don't have air conditioning?
No, not like my old truck.
It did?
Yeah, the 89 Ryder rental had air, but it was way up high and the big old door. I like these better. You get a breeze, little feeling and it's nice.
You got programs on it. Where'd that come from? Do they? Now, the guy owns, it's a
Yeah,
franchise?
it's Fred Distributing. He started, when Little Debbie started, he started. He used to have all the state, I mean, he used to have a huge territory. And it's got short and some, and then he got so big, you know, he said he started with four cases, took him 2 weeks to sell the first 4 cases back in 59. He kept expanding, and they got so busy, he had to hire somebody to help him, he had to hire somebody. Now, when he goes, whenever he retires or dies or whatever, it gets sold to the company, and then the company hires people to run the routes, and you like have to pay for your product, and you have to have your own truck. And,
Now, these tractor trailers that's running around, those are company, right?
now they just deliver all the warehouses. They deliver to our warehouse.
Our keys, my keys fit their padlock. Did you know that?
Really?
You ever try it? Try your key when it's late. Well, is Little Debbie over there where we're at now?
I wanted 96.
Normally, there's a Little Debbie right with Frito-Lay. They always go together.
Now we're over. We got 3 warehouses up here by a big arc.
But I was, we went to Washington. They moved our bin out of Washington.
And did they put up one in Peru?
Yeah. Well, they didn't put it up. They just rented a building. Well, they may have moved them. We're doing so much growing that. But anyway, I walked. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. Just nasty as can
I
be.
guess it'll be a big mistake when they start selling the Sara Lee.
Unloaded half a load. Those Debbie bin before I realized what I was doing.
I'm not gonna put Leanne down.
If I had this route was my own route, my income would at least double.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Moves a lot.
This stuff sells, and the average route is 35 to 40,000 a year. And that's supposedly after your product and most of your expenses. 4 times. Wow, so it's not good.
With the barbecue, it smells like.
Probably a big hot pot of sloppy joes.
Okay, start with curd.
Jim, what do you have going in there? Hid behind it, and there's a...
What'd you get? Where'd you get that?
There's a big dog.
It's funny how she looks so much like Barbara. Who's this little guy down here?
Kay's
Oh my goodness.
cousin, Robbie McNeil.
Yeah, Jeff.
His little boy.
That's it.
Her Uncle Bob from Indianapolis. Uncle Vicky Jones, retired.
It holds baseball cards like a Freddy. Just a frame for baseball cards.
And it's his grandson.
That's a
Yeah,
mom.
wherever happened his
That's
boy.
a mom.
That's from Leanne.
He's here, went over somewhere and slept.
In the living room, whatever it is out there.
Forgot all about it.
Garage.
What's that?
Check.
Pastor Mike.
Well, that's good.
Mom got that for him plus $100.
You're touching my leg, girl. I'm a man.
She already had his money for him, and she went into the Bible bookstore. She'd seen this picture before, and it just reminded her how the Lord just holding him up. And she said, look, his hand's right where his heart is, too.
It started to rain, so we just said we would come back.
Yeah. Once you get to the park there,
Yeah. It's right walking.
got Sloppy Joe's in here, guys.
We got our suits on, by the time we went to get the pool, it started pouring real hard.
You definitely down with that. Did you get one from Bill McNeil?
No, they had the wrong.
I looked at it. Wow. Y'all come to Florida. Came once to our house, it was all
No.
out
We came last summer.
Should come by and take a dip in our pool.
We went right to Daytona too.
You did?
Yep. We flew into Orlando and went to Daytona and spent the week there.
Oh, that's
You got $5 from.
Oh, he did?
Was you getting a lot of loot?
Yeah. And then you got
A lot of loot.
Fathers get 30%, remember?
Father's Day coming up, you know.
He whipped right past all the writing right to the cat.
You just gotta figure it out, we can rip the envelope and hold it.
Well, I'll keep my eye on him.
Oh, Tom Judy ticket?
Oh, Egan?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
The ones with the crowd sell all the time.
That's what their profit was, Dad.
Maybe we got potato chips.
Alright.
You know what, I've
One of
prepared
these days, I'm gonna fix you up with chips and then
I got three. I prepared it 3 times in like 4 days. But you know why? Everybody uses it for their hands.
And she's starting to find.
He'd get one of these grills you can
Yeah.
eat
Just want to
screws.
fix it up.
It was a good thing my grandma wasn't together. She would have started balling them.
That's our own sign, not the one that's crying.
That's the
That would be
song they
cool.
sing at my grandpa's.
A little mom.
Yeah, and that was what my grandpa's
Little
favorite song.
laser, like a half an inch.
Because when it touches, they shove hard enough, it goes to the ground. Little rubber
Have
bushing.
it about this far off the screen, a little light comes across so they break the
Oh
light.
yeah, she's doing really good.
Like one of them.
Yeah, I wonder if she went to the hospital.
Hog shockers. Give them something to they'll remember.
Yeah.
Because Jeff, though, he'd reach up there and he'd kick his machine on his head.
She said she would.
You know what? They've never worked, it's never done anything yet.
Oh,
The
really?
only thing it does is about every 3 months.
Oh, there's mom and dad.
You don't know it, but it recharges.
Oh, does it?
And then when he goes to the doctor, I don't have no idea, but when he goes to the doctor, they take this big magnet thing hooked up to a machine, and they just play it, put it across the chest. Yeah, you know on April 5th at 8:45 a.m.,
You can do it with that. Cheerios
your
and Rice Krispies.
defibrillator
Rice
recharges
Krispies,
itself.
you cover the top in
How do
syrup.
you know? I mean, it's amazing.
Pour syrup all over it.
Now, because
They can even do that over the telephone, can't they?
Cook it on the stove that way.
He's done him as a 7-year-old. He's been able to do it.
We went down there to
patients
swim.
now and stuff.
We got our suits on and it started pouring. Oh, you got that far? Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got halfway to Howard Community and it started raining.
Oh,
Mom, you're standing right in front of this thing. Oh, I'm sorry.
I think they're probably Mike Sales or something.
Thank you.
I was talking to Mike Sales guy.
Present memory.
I run cigars. I run through about 6 different Frito-Lay routes and about 4 or 5 different Mike Sales, recyclers, all this stuff. This one guy, he was so nice to tell me, he said, son or somebody that runs the company. The company's been around like 90 years. They don't do anything new, experiment, can't get me on same old stuff. He said,
It might be like
when I was asking him if they had, they will come out with any kind of, get maybe that cholesterol chips, you know. They don't do that until this guy died.
Man, that stuff gives you.
Yeah, you should zip it.
6 out of 1,000.
On $1.
I'll tell you what, we had they brought them into us and get them.
If we take those to the register, we still
We started eating those, and man, it is a funky
Hell, they're better than that baked baked
baked chips, baked
Lay's,
Lay's.
baked in that barbecue flavor, yeah, flavored paper.
It sells though.
No,
The only thing I eat baked is the tortilla, the chips that you use for salsa and stuff, the baked
Or
Lay's.
baked Tostitos.
Yeah, those are good. I don't mind those at all. I like the taste of, that's the only thing baked that tastes any good. He tells us that it's loaded in fat. But we did, obviously, because we've got, it looked like what I told you, it was roughly.
Oh, she had to be working for somewhere else.
Oh, good, it is. Well, how come you don't have sugar-free Little Debbie's?
Well, we
Never.
started.
Under the table.
Because we're selling snack cakes, we're not selling food.
Teresa, we'll have to go to his restaurant.
Yes.
I need to get down there and find it.
Listen, Nancy,
All the guys out, everybody's
outside the building
working
about
down
down
there.
outside. And people that come in from all over the country, when they're in there, they go to their meals.
Yeah, right.
She just got it.
We were
I thought they were on the bottom. The more I looked at them, the more I went.
We got there on time. He'll go on Saturday, Everybody will go there, they'll stand in line and won't get it. He can right into the end.
She says they're very.
That's probably funny.
Yeah, but you remember when you had the problem, you got to put in your bed like a
No one
world bed.
celebrated the renovation of Normandy Beach.
Oh, yeah.
But they said, they showed the Clintons. There was Clintons walking along the beach. And sandy beach, there's no stones or anything. It's beautiful. Also, they found all these stones. They started reflecting about them. Cameras are all going and taking and filming. And he makes a little cross with the stones. Just enough stones to make a little cross. And then he goes to the, and cameras get a picture of it, and there's a big battleship out on the ocean right where he's standing. And the day before, his friends had been out to the beach and put a pile of rocks in told the exact location for the battleship to be when he would be there. Yeah, and they set it all up so he would look like, and he was told right when to look down.
He's about to go to prison.
His wife is in big trouble.
She's just guilty.
But I think if push comes to shove, they'll hang her out to dry for his house. I'm guaranteed he'll drop her like a hot potato.
Probably so.
Oh,
He'll
wow.
probably say, well, I'm shocked.
I just wonder if he killed these.
She's a typical female. She's just working that money.
Can't get no more words out of him. I'd like to hear what he has.
Now that see that travel gate, that was so bad. Travel agency, they went and got the FBI and fired and prosecuted that guy, and the guy used his life savings
I'd like to see it.
to defend himself, and not guilty. Now they say they used the FBI for 300 different people, including several top Republicans, trying to find dirt on him. And that's wrong. That's illegal. That kind of stuff got Nixon kicked out, and he's still firm. Nixon never broke into that room. All Nixon did was try to defend his, he was so loyal to his people and tried to defend him to the point of lying. And that's what Nixon got in trouble.
I remember that summer. I had to sit there and watch all those
The Clintons,
programs.
I'm so sad. And they all talk about how old Dole is and stuff. But
Dana will fix it for you.
Reagan was old. He managed to get 8 good years out of it. I don't care. Bring him.
Pretty good wage.
Bring him.
Been doing this way for weeks.
So far.
What's the man? Tell me.
$20 bill.
My goodness.
She reminds me of Josh. I got an nephew.
You're kidding. And you
Just
get
about like
$5
a little older.
allowance?
No.
Eddie.
That's not fair, is it?
No, he has $200.
That's not fair, is it? You only get your allowance?
I don't care. You don't care.
That's right, you will. I don't care, I'll get it when I crash. Tell Uncle Bob what you gotta do. First, you gotta go to school.
My goodness.
It's holding off for a big one.
Good job, and then get married. You won't have to spend on the man.
She was like 2. Money again.
Now Bob's looking at Kim.
That was my college.
I didn't do it that way. Okay, now, do we deliver your paper wet?
Going to California.
Hey.
Before they come and get it.
They come back.
Oh, I don't
Just
know.
sit there then.
I guess I wanted to put them to try to get away from the house.
11 years.
For 3 weeks, you
Yeah, for a month.
No money.
I think it's great.
You better not try to get no suntan.
Get no money now.
You better not try to get no suntan down there because it's so hot they can
Well, we
make
all
you
have
sick.
bad days.
That's worse than Florida, a whole lot worse.
Well, yeah, a little bit. And then it's a lot.
They got, I don't know if they got any air conditioning, they don't feel alone.
Yeah, I'll miss her, I know that, but
Well, it doesn't, I was at it right above South America, right by Colombia. You were there because you have to drive.
This one is better.
I was in Mexico during September, and it was not, I mean, it was hot, it was like 112, but you didn't feel it. I mean, it felt like it's 70 days. I mean, here, in Florida,
He's gone. He left.
no, not at all. You won't be able to tell it's so hot.
And then we came back to Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
I mean, get to talk to them.
I went on a mission. So it wasn't real nice, right?
that's actually the first time she's been away from home except for weekend retreat.
No, I just know you'll know the money business.
But it's good for you to be with Leanne.
Mike, you want to go out?
Away for a while. She needs the company.
She conscious, she grab
Oh,
off.
But she's been training for the training. I can just train her and put her in my mold.
She's really drugged up.
Jeffrey, did you open up everything?
Not yet. Who's that from? Oh, hey.
She responds to us when you want to say something.
You need to, Jeffrey, yeah, keep all your money in your bag.
They just said,
You need a letter opener.
there's a
It's kind of
chance
a joke, though,
that
Jeff.
she'll come back and be pretty close to what she was before the operation.
Oh, well.
Mandy, are you writing everything down for me?
It's her same day.
Really?
She was open my house when I was
Oh, yeah, she's 80 years old this month.
She's 8. I'll be 79. This is 16 next
Oh, really?
Sunday. I thought she said she was turning 80.
$20.
You still living there on Delta?
You're not really supposed to tell it, Tom.
Huh?
Still living there on Delta?
Oh, yeah. I'll die there or on the somewhere. I don't want to die in that St. Joe Hospital.
Come on.
Well, I hate that place.
No.
Yes.
I've never eaten it. After Howard.
Two just from what?
You better get some of them sandwiches.
So wrong.
Savannah, all you have to do is just reach down there and grab it.
No, not
here. Next, please.
Kim already jumped in. She's eating for both.
Gosh, Savannah.
Come on.
You're sitting there the other night. They got in trouble.
So you want sloppy Joe?
Her and Danny were fighting. And so she was making Mom, actually, she was trying to scream her away. But
Come and get you something.
she goes, Mom said, well, at least blow her kiss. And she went, and she said, what'd you tell about catching your kiss? And she went, it was so funny, you had to been there.
Just put it back up the graduation flower and give him.
Cute.
I got a real pretty card. Make up for the money.
It actually really broadcast out of Elko, but my hands.
I'm just getting tired every day.
Oh, okay.
Is it like night setting?
Huh?
Hey, come
Yeah, he took a couple of
Here.
How hungry are you, Joe?
Grandma got you the bear too, didn't she? That's cute, Grandma.
I don't know what to put on Stephen's birthday card, so it ran him in. I don't know where he likes it at all. I don't know what to say to him.
Oh, gee.
peanut and
Well, his is probably huge though.
No, I think they're in there.
Are they real soft? I don't know.
She goes try it on her dress.
That's not really staring at the car.
Not just maybe a hand, just a little handful.
There's Richard over there.
Well, we do too.
I was down there the other day, the other day, and I was like,
Oh, Tim.
Why didn't Steve come?
Last envelope.
You can tell she's related to Jeff.
What did he do?
She's mad at his girlfriend, but she's mad at him.
All right.
You got girlfriend? All of his money's getting, he's planning on going to California.
How much is that, Savannah?
Jan and Susie.
Got a message for Jeff?
Jeffrey, I love you.
Do you have a message for Jeff, married lady? This is Kim Carroll.
Kimberly Carroll.
Uncle Jan and Susie.
Congratulations, Jeffrey, on everything you can do. Don't throw all that loot all in one place, okay? Spend it wisely.
Oh, that old train, you won't hardly stop in Chicago anytime soon.
Zach,
Zach, he was miserable.
say hi.
That bread is good.
See.
You put it on the bed, that bread
Hola.
is real soft and good.
Boy, break my neck.
That bread is real soft. It's real good.
See, okay.
Bye. Thanks for coming.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to sit here?
No, I'm gonna try to get Jonathan sent over to it. Would you put this over there for Jonathan?
Oh, do you need one?
Whoop.
Oh, no, he'll make a mess. Jonathan, come here. It was hot. Come here. He's taking it.
Oh, give it to Kim then.
Marilyn.
Here again.
There's our new servers, Teresa and Willie.
Oh, yeah.
Willie.
But that green slip though, that kind of cuts out.
We got her walking. That's our new hobby in this game.
Yep.
They were going to work, so they were giving their dogs free and he misses me because he's out of town.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we've got 6 females and 1 male. And 5
Baseball is more popular than racing. Nobody has one here in town.
What about basketball? They tell me that's kind of popular too.
Well, see, that's what I told him. I told him to open up a store. He's got an idea called the Diamond. And I told him to make it big enough and have 2 doors. And one side be the Diamond, the other side be courtside. And we're talking about walking in and you having like turf, like carpet or something, green carpet, then with a base pass on the floor. And then when you go in either door, you're in the same store, but halfway across, all of a sudden, there's a hardwood like floor, and sell all the basketball.
That'd be neat, but that takes some
Money and some time. It takes some money.
just a little bit of money.
And then
You know, that might
Never figure out what he must. That's just get him going. That's the main thing.
Well, what got you interested in that? Now that's interesting. I've never heard of a store like that.
I just always liked baseball. I've always wanted
Maybe you can bring me back to
if
follow
I
Monday.
didn't have a heart problem,
Okay,
then I
Grandma,
would
My
okay.
professional
birthday's
baseball.
Sunday.
That's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
But since
I
do
love
that,
you.
I love
wanna
you
do
too.
something
Bye.
with that.
Well, there's always, that would keep you close in touch with what you want, with your major love. That would be great. How is the heart and all that? Everything working okay?
Yeah. I mean, basically, since it happened, after recovery time and everything, he's been about the same. I mean, no changes. It's not gotten worse or, not a whole lot of change for the better, as far as what they say. But, during all that, it was weakened. And she says it's working 25 to 30%. So,
You mean the heart is working 25 to 30%?
But a normal heart works what?
normal heart doesn't work, 100%, 50, 60, what, is that what they say usually?
Oh.
So it doesn't sound as bad when you break it down that way, but, each time he goes down, he goes every 3 months for the defibrillator check. He goes Tuesday, and then they'll just put the little thing on the magnet thing, and then kind of, you know, check it out, make sure any activities that's gone on, and he's yet to have a shock or anything go on. So we're just real thankful.
Wow, that's good though.
No change is good.
A lot of prayers came that way.
Yes,
didn't
yes.
they?
I never got a
But
picture
he,
in the paper. I
Yeah.
didn't expect them all.
Well, it's nice to meet you. I'm Bob Cole.
Mom, this is.
I read all about that.
I got your picture hanging right there with Jeff.
Ugliest looking picture
No,
ever.
and I'll tell you what I put
She
on
was
it.
in Florida.
It's that colored newspaper
Oh,
printout,
yeah.
and I got it framed, and I've got it for everybody.
Oh, that's when he came home, right?
Right, and it says his eye is on the sparrow, and I know it
Yeah.
watches over me. And that's the way, it was wonderful.
Now, you're here from Florida?
Right, we
What?
live in Deltona. About,
Deltona.
about 30 miles from Daytona, just between Daytona and Orlando.
Well,
30 miles each way.
Are you enjoying this wonderful weather?
No, rain all week
Now, this
long.
hasn't been typical. This rainy, dreary weather hasn't been typical.
Actually, it's not, it's
We haven't
bad.
had a spring to speak of, and it's almost depressing, this weather, I'm telling you, if you don't get summer soon.
But actually, it's not too bad because
No,
it's
no,
been in the
winter.
90s
Rain
there.
all spring.
Yes, it sure has.
Been about, I think it was 93 when we left. And in Florida, you don't get a lot of rain anyway, unless you got hurricanes. But I mean, you know, it's,
Every afternoon you get rain?
well, but
I mean,
Usually
we've
it
been
sends
to
out when
Florida,
it rains.
it can rain 3 inches in an hour, you never knew it rained.
Right.
I mean, the ground would be dry and the sun would be out, but in the summertime, it's humid down there.
Right.
Oh, boy, I can't stand it.
but this soaking rain, we don't get a lot of,
Oh, we've got too much of it.
Mosquitoes are horrible.
I noticed that really out there today.
Well, did graduation go all right?
Well, the house has been loaded.
The party has been successful.
Oh, how
and,
wonderful.
That's what's fun about this, isn't it?
That's great.
Sure.
Put him in that big
It was-
Cadillac going to graduate.
You get all that money, you won't even think about going back to school. Hey, I just start investing this money right now and hoping my...
Well, he's already got plans to go to California.
Well, you know what, though, Jeff, you go after that education. That's the one thing you don't let anything get in your way. You go after that education, you get that degree, and then you can do whatever you want. But it's 4 years, you get that degree, and then you've got it, because that's one thing, no, they can't take away from you. And it's such an important part of your life today. And if you can get a chance to get down on a campus or someplace like that, you want to do that too. You can work your way into it. If not, well, get the degree, period. Because I can't, you know, I've had so many kids come up to me, and now they're not kids anymore, they're grown up. They said, in fact, I was at the credit union the other day, and I saw one of my ex-swimmers, and I asked him how things were going. He said, you know, I wish I'd listened to you.
Oh,
And I said, what? And he said, I wish I'd have gone to college like you told me to. He said, but because now I'm just, you know, I'm taking whatever comes my way and working, never have any security. And I said, well, you know, it's never too late. It may be a little more of a struggle, but it's not too late. Go after while you're young, because boy, it is hard when you get...
A lot of his friends are going to our church is Assembly of God, and they have their, in Springfield, CBC, a lot of his friends are going up there. This, just a big group of them is going to be there this next year. And, you know, that wouldn't be out of the question, but with his medical condition, it's like, you know, so we push that. So if we can go local, get the first year stuff out of the way, you know, that's just so he's doing something, you know, and then once he gets going, his goals and things could change. You know, it's just getting started. A lot of people do that, you know.
But you know what's
Don't
nice,
really know
he's
what-
got some ideas, right?
Yeah.
So many kids, and I mean, you've talked to some of them, and by the way, I've kept up on how you've been doing, because you got some friends downtown campus keep me posted on you. They keep telling me you're chasing the women and all that kind of stuff. He dropped his car, that got him. Well, or are they chasing you? Which was it? I forget. They're chasing you, right?
Little bit of both.
Little bit of both, okay. That you got some ideas, and that's good, because so many of the kids you graduated with don't have a clue what they want to do. And I feel sorry for those kids. They, you know, I was really, my oldest daughter, when she went to college, she wanted to go into journalism, and then we changed. She finally ended up with 2 majors that she graduated with, but she's not using either one of them. But she does have her degree, and she's doing very well. She's working with Steak and Shake Management Division, and it's, I don't know where it came from. but she just said that she wanted to get into management, and so she did some interviewing and looked around, and she felt like this was and I never paid any attention. I've always gone to Steak and Shake to eat. I never paid any attention to the growth. But man, you talk about a business that's growing.
We have 2 new ones just in the area we live in.
Yeah, see, they want my daughter to go down into Florida and open some stores down there, and she really likes living in Indianapolis. She's got a nice apartment, and she said, I really like Indianapolis. I hate to go down there, but if I have to, I can. So.
They just built a new mall, and Seminole Mall is in Sanford, just about 10 miles from us. They opened a new one, and then just right down our street, Orange City, right on the Saxon, opened another new one.
It was my son just leaving as you come up, and he had said just a while ago that he wished you'd have been here.
Yeah.
Well, I had planned to be here earlier, and then I just couldn't get away because I manage the Kokomo Swim Club, and which is out on the west of town. And every 2 weeks there's an executive board meeting, but usually it's on Monday in the evening. But because some of the people couldn't make it Monday, they moved it to Sunday. And since I'm out there anyway, it doesn't make any difference.
They all come to the same thing. I said, well, they all brought another car. And so his son wanted to leave, so I told him to have to leave before you got here.
But your ears must burn a lot because we have sort of like a gallery in our garage. And that's one picture is there, and it's, of course we have a daughter that's a singer. And people can see the picture, and it's a great testimony, and then we get to tell them about how the previous person that you was able to resuscitate, and then Jeff, and it's just a big ministry.
And then
yeah, I get to witness a
this
lot
year,
of people.
Yeah,
I was sad this year.
I didn't have success this year.
They
We had
had
one this
a
year.
nice memorial for him at the school. My youngest daughter goes to Sycamore, where he went, and I guess they had a big thing for the end of the
And that
school
was
year
the
for
most
him.
bizarre. Because
But you know, it was on God's calendar. It wasn't.
I didn't have a window to work with. For Jeffrey, I had a window to work with. What I mean is there's a time between 0 and 4 minutes that you have to work with. But the Williams boy, I didn't have any window. I was in a meeting, and they didn't even know how long the boy had been laying there, but I knew we were in big, big trouble when I got there. Because it was, I've done it enough to know where we are, and boy, it was. I was so, and I didn't realize who it was. I didn't know this boy, just like I hadn't known Jeffrey, but that's irrelevant. But come to find out, I worked with his father at one time. His father used to work at the pool at the South Campus, and it really strikes.
Well, we found out we knew her mother. We grew up with her mother.
his father is I don't know who his father is, but he's one of the chip people, I think now.
Yes, he works with.
And I don't know which one.
Yeah, I think. Is it?
No, I think it's. I was thinking it was Mike Sells or Cypher's. I was thinking Cypher.
Maybe you're right.
But I don't know, because I know it's one. I know I've run into him, but I don't know which one it is, and so I hesitate saying it because I don't want. Because the other Frito-Lay driver said, I went up to him and I said, well, how's it going? He said, and it was the week he had to bury him. And he didn't know that, and he says, oh, not so good, and he started telling him all that, and you go, oh.
Did you remember Joey Barker?
No.
He was over in Fairlawn. That was his mother.
Wow. Don't remember what.
It's kind of ironic because there was in the paper just a few days ago, there was a picture of a couple of men working, and they had him in one of them. His name's Wayne Jewell, and I saved his life. I can't know. I don't know how long ago it was. It was at the downtown campus when the two schools were still
Hayworth
and Kokomo, and he had gone underwater, didn't come back up, and he couldn't swim, and he snuck out into the deep water, and he was going to try it. Boy, he went down, and it shook my colleague up so much that she got out of it. She never saw that before. She just couldn't believe that could happen like that, and the stress of it all. But I kind of thought, well, at least Wayne's got something going here, because he was working in a barber shop at one time. He was cutting hair or something last time. So it's kind of funny to see that, but I think of Mike Williams, Mr. Williams, the father of that boy, and I think, boy, the boy lived with his dad, see, and that's about all his dad really had, so.
Well, I was in the paper that next day and showed you, holding that little bag up and stuff. And of course, they'd been talking about it at work and stuff, and one of the ladies brought the newspaper up to me, and it's like, oh, I can't describe the feeling it gives you. It's just like Jeff all over again, except this time he didn't make it. It's like, no, I mean, it was awful. The feeling you had, you could just sympathize with that mother so much. You probably had a lot of prayers going up for you at that time, too, because it was probably devastating on you.
Like she'd be the one to tell the bad news.
Well,
So many people were involved and I was out of the picture totally.
I had that plan, too. That's what I thought going up on the stage when he was going up this morning. I said,
But I didn't
not
see
only
when he's
is
in
he saved physically, but he's saved spiritually, too. And, I mean, what more can you want?
But I didn't see him when he's in the emergency room.
Well, it wasn't a pretty sight, I'll tell you that.
Well, my daughter was there. My daughter went out there, and
I
then
wasn't, but I know I worked with him all the way to the ambulance.
Just all the remarks that we heard, that was the hard part. I spent 2 months down there with him, but the hard part, I think, would have been taking him away in the helicopter and nobody could go, not knowing if you're going to see him
that's what
again.
Bogdan was crying and going on.
That, just imagining it, I can't imagine facing that, seeing
And
that.
you don't remember a thing about this, do you?
No, you don't remember
He said at least
anything.
I went to lunch.
Yeah, at least you didn't even get to eat a lunch. I bet you didn't even get a French fry. Boom. There was food all over the floor, and you were in it.
Ketchup?
Huh?
Did I get ketchup?
I don't know.
He fell, he
I
hit
just know I was
he
in
fell,
the
must
French fries.
have fell flat forward because he had a big old swollen lip. And I just figured that's from where he hit.
Well, I know Mike McCroskey, he was a case, he was a basket case. He just,
Oh my.
poor Mike, I mean, I really, he
Mr.
didn't know what
McCroskey was
was.
there too?
Yeah,
He used to teach at Bon Air years ago, I think. Well, there were several teachers I know when I was in custodial work in the school system back in the 70s that were out at Bon Air School, and I was custodian there. I think he was one, but he may not have been.
No, Mr. McCroskey was a custodian. You may know him. He was the father of Mike.
Oh, okay.
Worked
Well,
at Sycamore or Bon Air or one of those schools.
Hmm.
He may still be working there, or maybe he's retired now. But Mike McCroskey is the girls' basketball coach for Kokomo. And see, he had lunchroom duty that day, and we hear trays fall all the time.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. And they start clapping.
Yeah, oh yeah, they start clapping and for just embarrassing. They just are it wasn't them, but. And all I did was look down. I was in my tray and I left to look down and I could see your feet back in the sticking into the where you pick up your tray and you walk down and pick up your food. You just paid. You turned and. I just saw his feet. Well, I didn't think anything of it because usually kids will bounce right up. But your feet didn't move. And then I thought, well, that's not right. Usually kids will bounce up and try to blend in before it gets... And then Mike was there. Mr. McCroskey was kneeling down by you, and he was telling me, he's having a seizure. He's having a seizure. No. When I got down, you were face down in your tray, and you weren't having any seizure.
It was gone, huh?
And I told Mike, I said, oh, Mike, I said, we got something a little more serious than that. And that's the last I saw Mike. I don't know what happened. I rolled you were not looking good. In fact, you know what, when you walked in this house, when you came home from the hospital, I didn't recognize you. I didn't know you. See, you got three guys who walked in. I wouldn't have known who Jeff Lemons was or who wasn't. So, but poor Mike, he was a little nervous. Of course, you can appreciate that. You've never seen anything like that happen, and you get pretty nervous.
His grandpa he got home in December, and his grandpa, was it the 6th of March? Just like 3 months later, I work over at Eric's in the office, and he drives for me. He had just got in from a trip to Louisville. He'd been popping nitros all day, having problems. The lady that pays him said he doesn't look good, and he was telling me to sit down. Well, I'm up towards the front, my back's to him. They holler at me and said, "Kay, Jack doesn't look good." And so I experienced him dying right in front of me of a heart attack, and it's like, just so fresh from him. I said, I don't need this. And it takes you months to get over that. That's a horrible thing to have to witness. So I can understand the guy running. It's like I was a basket case. And I felt like I used to be able to handle things well. And I just, both of those things so close together, it's like, no.
If she sees, like, Jeff kidding around with his sister and was laying on the ground, and she looks over and he's laying there like I don't know what he was doing.
This is right after not long after he
And she got mad, boy. She come in, what are you doing? And she wasn't doing anything to anybody. It was just they were just doing something,
Yeah, he was totally
and he was kind of motionless.
You can't lay down here on the carpet and take a nap, can you? They just bother you to death.
And
not so bad now, but I mean at first though, it just takes you a while to get over all that. Too.
Yeah, well, I'm real glad. Boy, you look just absolutely great. I mean, you look real healthy and strong, and of course I knew you were doing okay, because like I said, your buddies.
Now they have, now she's been through CPR. You've been certified, right? You got your little...
You did go through it.
They had it at the church. I was going to, but I couldn't get away that day that they had it. So
she can teach you to.
So she did it.
As a matter of fact, the Heimlich, I did it a later.
Oh yeah, she had to use
it.
She has a swallow problem, and she choked on a piece of candy or something.
On an M&M of all things that got lodged in her throat. And we all just kind of stood around because she was like, we thought, she's going to cough it up, whatever, and then she started just turning sheet white, and she just was, that's what I told her. I said, well, I can do the Heimlich on her. So I went over behind her and tried it a couple times. I think it was already starting to dislodge from her. She turned so white. I mean, much longer she would have just fell right over. Mm-hmm. It looked awful, but we're all just kind of like, okay, what do we do, So.
See, I don't know. A lot of the instructors, they don't explain the time frame that you have there. But when a person is restricted with air and they're conscious, within about 15 seconds they're going to be unconscious, because their heart starts to beat so fast and their body is going through a shock, which is using a tremendous amount of oxygen. So when that happens, they'll go unconscious within. And when I teach lifeguarding, I explain to the kids that are taking the course, I said, when a person goes underwater, within 15 seconds, they're going to need CPR, because they're going to be out. It's all over.
What if you're purposely holding your breath?
Well, that's a different story. You're not in a state of shock. You're under control. But so you could actually hold your breath for a minute or so underwater and still be okay if you could hold it that long.
We'll get you something to eat or drink.
No, not really. No,
got coffee and drinks and stuff, you sure?
I don't think I had a cup of coffee in 25 years.
Oh, well, then we won't
maybe longer than that. I don't drink a lot of coffee. I don't drink coffee, period.
Well, I guess I've been like the rest of them, sawing out there in the emergency here in Kokomo. But I didn't get down there till a few days later to see it. But I never saw as many tubes in all my life.
I get even through the impact, it didn't hit me how serious it was. Because like when we're getting and heading down to Riley in the car and we're talking, well, he's probably coming along okay, and we'll stay there for a couple of days, and probably have Saturday we'll bring him home. And then that night, even down at the hospital, that night they call, you hear them call the whatever the code name was, Code Blue, and they're all heading down the hall. And one of the kids, they're down there with his friends, peers through the door, and they're going in Jeff's room, going back in his room because he's having another attack or whatever. But
I found out later it was the tube that was wrong, but we all there was a room full of us. We just stopped and started praying right there.
But,
and then later, one of the guys come in. He said, I could tell something happened, didn't he? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
One you thought was
what?
Something come through here.
Well, I've been curious about is if it's affected any change at the high school. If there's anybody, because you were the only one. If I remember right, basically about the only person there. If you weren't there, wasn't nobody else there would have known a lick of what to do. And I wonder if anybody does now. That's why I thought, she went through the course.
No, I don't think anything has happened. If anything has happened, they've reduced the program. When I don't know if you know this or not, but at the time, just about 5 minutes before this incident happened with Jeff, I had just concluded a CPR class with
I heard that.
my
advanced
swimming class. It's a one-semester class, and there are 3 parts to that class, and the one part that I just concluded. And I was standing there just about 5 minutes before the bell rang, and I said to the kids, now this completes the course, and you've completed your testing, and I said, you may never give CPR in your life from this point on, or you may be giving it 5 minutes from now. And that's that was the way I usually end my course with that.
Now you've got an actual.
I can't tell you how many of the kids just stood there. I couldn't believe what was happening in that cafeteria, and they came up and said, they remember that stuff. But then I retired as a swimming coach.
Yeah.
I retired, I've been coaching for 25 years, and I really enjoyed the coaching, but my mother-in-law was diagnosed with cancer, and she was real sick. And my wife was really struggling trying to take care of her and teaching and doing her job and running back and forth to Indianapolis. And then in the summer of that year, my mother was diagnosed with cancer. And we didn't know how extensive it was, but I thought, man, if it's anything like what my wife's going through, there's no way she can take care of my mother and her mother. And I thought, maybe I better step down and be available to help my wife in particular, because my wife's mother did pass away from hers, and it was awful to see that happen so fast. And my mother had to go through a series of operations, and she seems to be doing well, but I retired from it. So when I retired, they wanted me to go downtown campus so that they would have a teaching opening for a new coach. Well, they don't teach that course anymore because that new coach is not certified, doesn't have all the certification to teach, doesn't have, so they don't teach that course to the kids. And
too bad.
I think it's too bad because, testimony alone will tell you that the more you know, the more people that know. No one knows usually what to do, and that's why they called me this year. I was in the meeting.
See, someone like ought to, maybe someday I'll go to the school board and say, hey,
Well, they teach you in health. I mean, I can remember when I was in grade, we learned it, but
not extensive.
No, not extensive at all.
But see, what I'm saying is, I almost feel like after this experience, I never thought about it before, just never needed to think about it. Now you think about it, and you hear all the time about every summer, you hear in August of some kid in some school football practice falling over dead or collapsing from the heat and the work, because after summer they're working them pretty hard to get ready for football season, which they ought to do. But and you wonder, does any of those coaches know anything? What would they know what to do? Or very few of them know. There ought to be a coach or at least one coach on the whole athletic staff that knows something at a school.
Every coach should know CPR.
Well, I personally think it should be on that football field. One of the assistants or one of the coaches ought to be there, know it, or I just think it ought to be mandatory. But,
well, it isn't, but it should be. You're right, because like I say, there's just that very short window. That it's only a 4-minute window.
Yeah, and then by the time you call somebody and get them there 10 minutes later, or it takes you a minute before you figure out what's going on or two, and then you've already, by the time you start to react, the damage is done. And even if you get, a lot of times that 5 minutes or 10, then there's already brain damage and.
And he'd already turned colors by the time he got to him.
Well, he was so puffed up. That's what I realized. I thought maybe you choked on something at first, and then I realized that you weren't choking on anything when I got started.
You didn't even know there's anything wrong.
Oh, you could tell as soon as you.
Oh, I had no idea there was anything with his heart until we
pulled his shirt off and see all that. Oh my!
Well, when I saw him in the.
I did know, honest to God, when I saw that scar on his chest, and I'm doing those compressions, I'm thinking, am I going to go through that sternum? Because I had no idea how long that.
No, that sternum is wrapped in wire. I mean, there's a surgical wire.
Did one of the kids maybe behind tell you that he had a heart condition or something? Any of them tell you around him?
No. I tell you, no one was saying anything.
Oh man.
Sure did, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of kids had to go home.
Even my son, and been a policeman all them years, he said, I could take it. All the years he's seen people dying, had to give them all that. He knows how to give it. And he said, but Jeff, no, I couldn't take it.
I noticed the puffiness, Kay. Did that affect the liver? Is that why it was puffy? Or what made the puffiness?
Oh, no.
I don't know, because, I didn't know if it was just because he was, I just know he was real puffy.
I still think it was a school cafeteria menu, I think.
Oh, yeah, well, they all do that. Yeah, they all do that. That's just standard procedure.
Did you ever revive me down there?
Yeah, I had to revive you twice down there. I had to
take the ambulance.
Then they got Well, I don't know, Jeff. I really, honest to God.
Did you
Time-
go to the hospital?
I went, no, the nurse went with him to the hospital.
I imagine time really just,
The principal told the nurse to go with the attendants. And, because I had a class.
you had to go back to class, so that was good.
Why do they keep going out of it?
Now that you can concentrate, I'm sure the rest of the day.
Well, you know, you just hope that everything, I tell you what, I didn't have a lot of confidence that Jeff was going to make it.
I bet you kept up with it.
You know, you had some kind of service repair from Sears the day it happened, I believe. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Well, the reason I know that is because his cousin is a Sears repairman.
So was it him or one of the principal or somebody?
I believe it was you, and he come in telling him about it. And he was kind of shook up. I'm pretty sure it's what